Imovie is making an impact in the classroom. Schools are desperate to move away from the factory model of education.
I'll give you a couple of examples. Schools are still pretty much organised on factory lines, so ringing bells, separate facilities, specialised into separate subjects. We still educate children by batches. We put them through the system by age group. Why do we do that? Why is there this assumption that the most important thing kids have in common is how old they are? It's like the most important thing about them is their date of manufacture. You know what I mean? Well, I know kids who are much better than other kids at the same age in different disciplines, or at different times of the day, or better in smaller groups than in large groups, or sometimes they want to be on their own. If you're interested in the model of learning, you don't start from this production line mentality.
Imovie allows learning to be tailored to each learner and encourages greater engagement with the subject-specific material. So the goal of this commentary is to ascertain the trends and issues of Imovie in an educational context. So the first question that we must consider is who is using the technology, the teacher or the student? Flipping the classroom is becoming increasingly popular. The video you're watching now is a fabulous example. The educational blogosphere is filled with examples of flipping the classroom. Sams and Bergman are considered the pioneers of the practice and state that it allows students to watch recorded lectures for homework so they can then complete assignments, experiments and tests in class. In this way, they can learn the content at home, so class time is free for students to apply, analyze and evaluate the content material. The video that has been playing in the background is from the Aga Khan Academy and it's on speculative currencies produced for the very purpose of flipping the classroom. So is it captivating? And here is another one. And perhaps as you watch these flips, you might appreciate Jonathan's research. He says that digital video is weak as a form of communication or instructional media. In fact, the people who benefit the most from creating instructional media are the creators of the Imovie, not the students. So although Imovie can be used as a means of instructional media, the tool is much better used in the hands of the student for knowledge construction. So let's look at the uses of Imovie in the hands of the student. But first, let's look at the 3 different modes or purposes of students using Imovie. So firstly, Imovie can be used as a communication or presentation tool to share information. In history, for example, students can create historical documentaries, just like this one. Imovie makes this a much more meaningful task. The very process of creating the documentary forces students to interact with the content at a much deeper level. They have to select the most important causes and effects, choose which aspects of the events to emphasize and which aspects to exclude. How can they use their images and music to create meaning? All these processes makes Imovie a very effective cognitive tool. Now in The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon makes an Imovie on flags. Even Sheldon Cooper, with 2 PhDs, finds creating an Imovie a cognitive process.
Cowboys, do you know what country has not 1, but 2 cows on its flag? The tiny landlocked nation of Andorra. Oh, the next classic episode of Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags is writing itself.
Students can also create investigative reports on current issues such as global warming. They can demonstrate higher order thinking skills, such as considering different perspectives like, say, climate deniers, by creating interviews with a range of different stakeholders. In history, students can reenact past events and film them. This process involves script writing, costume design, and the pursuit of authenticity. Alternatively, they can create short propaganda films. Through this, they can learn about the devices such as music, lighting and framing that makes propaganda so powerful. And creating comes at the very top of Bloom's taxonomy. In foreign language class, students can hold prep conferences or record news shows. They can even create digital travelogues, recording the audio in the language that they are learning. Imovie allows them to go back and perfect their recordings until they have the perfect finished product. In mathematics, students can create instructional videos to explain the steps to factorize a trinomial or to graph a linear equation. It is the very act of explaining the process that improves their understanding of the material. The second mode or purpose of Imovie is as a powerful observation and analysis tool. In science, students can watch clips of scientific phenomena to invite observation and inference. If students are able to watch a clear video of an experiment, to observe data unencumbered by other distractions, it can allow for much more effective analysis. Just like in this experiment on acceleration, one of the advantages of Imovie is the ability to slow the video down to enable much more effective observation and therefore analysis. In social studies, students can use Imovie to analyse historical events or primary sources, such as old propaganda films, just like this old World War II cartoon, which shows the value of paying income tax, or perhaps political ads or old news reports. Another advantage is that students can use Imovie to annotate directly on the material. In maths, video can be taken of scientific phenomena, such as this simple demonstration of a ball toss. It can be overlaid with graphical or numerical data using additional tools such as Sketchpad or, in this case, Logopro. The phenomena can be measured to illustrate mathematical concepts such as parabolas. The third mode or purpose of Imovie is that it can help reflection and metacognition. In essence, Imovie can help students understand how they learn. In one particular study, they concluded that Imovie can increase reflection and improve metacognition. Researchers found that when students recorded their reflections, it became more meaningful and individualized. The very process of verbalizing their thoughts on camera exposed them to the process of metacognition. For example, in physical education, students can video each other practicing skills and to take those back to the classroom. Imovie allows teachers and students to speed up or slow down or replay video. This allows for very effective self-evaluation, improvement, and reflection. However, there are some limitations of Imovie in the classroom. One important limitation is that students may become more engaged in the technology than the subject-specific material. Technology can distract students from the content of the curriculum. Perhaps in our ever-increasing digital age, it is important to scope and sequence not only the subject matter, but also technology skills.